What if I tell you there is one myth so widespread that it appears in nearly every culture and religion across the world? The similarities are so striking that they almost feel unreal. The myth is the Great Flood. Almost every civilization on Earth tells some version of the same story: a flood, one warning, few survivors, and a new world. Cultures that never met somehow remembered the same nightmare. The earliest known account of this myth appears in the Epic of Gilgamesh, where the gods decide to flood the world because humanity became too loud and noisy. A man named Utnapishtim is warned in advance. He builds a massive boat, gathers animals, seeds, and a small number of people, and ultimately comes to the rest on Mount Nimush. A strikingly similar story appears in the biblical tradition, where the savior is Noah. Once again, he is instructed to build a boat, preserve a small group of people along with animals, and eventually comes to rest on Mount Ararat. In this version, however, the flood is caused not by human noise but by divine anger over human violence. In Hindu tradition, Lord Vishnu, in his Matsya avatar, warns Manu of an impending great flood. Manu builds a boat, gathers a small group of survivors, animals, and the Vedas, and ultimately secures the vessel on a peak known as Naubandhana. Unlike other flood narratives, this account presents the flood as a part of natural cosmic cycle rather than an act of divine anger. In Chinese mythology, things become more interesting. Yu the Great, instead of fleeing from the floods, confronts them directly by constructing dams and canals, ultimately overcoming the disaster through engineering and human ingenuity. In far, far west, before the European invasion of the Americas, an American Inca myth tells about two brothers who are warned by weeping llamas. Along with their families and flocks, they escape the coming flood by ascending to the summit of a very high mountain called Masaya. So, why does these myths share so many similarities? Did the entire earth really flood? Well, science says no, clearly and conclusively. A global flood would leave unmistakable evidences in sediment layers, archaeology, and biology. That evidence does not exist. But what about local floods? Those absolutely did. After the last ice age, sea levels rose, rivers overflowed, early settlements vanished. Trauma became memory, memory became myth, and myth became the scriptures.